makes you piss.
We are live Sunday night, and we're live. Guess what? Tonight we're talking about outdoor fuseboards and why they are officially dead, maybe. Anyway, we've also got one hell of a discount for you with Navitas, so you're going to have to stay tuned for that. And we've got Mark Allison in the house to talk about all things you didn't know were interesting. How about that? Right, Jamie.
It's you.
Navitas. Do CA first.
What do you mean? I'm just about to do something on the computer. That's why I put you first.
Do CA first.
Shoving on new. I wouldn't want people to go to. If you want to, have I got anything behind me? Let me have a look. No, because I took it all to the course. See, if you want to measure something like electrical stuff, not pints or liters or anything like that. If you want to measure something electrical that you can't see, like power factor or KAVRA or all them buttons on your calculator, you don't have a fucking clue what they mean. Shoving on other people to go to because they've got some mad machine that will do all that for you. They have a number of people for power analyzing, energy logging, multimeters. They do them. They do all sorts of mad stuff. I'm just using their Giga Ohm installation resist test on a course this week, and they're all fantastic. So yeah, if you're after in the market some test gear that does something that you can't do or ain't got facilities to do at the moment, give them a bell. They'll point you in the right direction, tell you what they've got from their stock range, and they'll even sell it to you. And they'll look after you afterwards. As I promise to you, you'll get the same service that we get, and you'll get like proper service off a real person, all that kind of stuff. That's what they do, because they're little and small and compact and can deal with you like a real human being. And I'm hoping that Sam's going to nod at me in a minute so we can carry on to his read. He looked at me. There you go.
Here we go. Right now, Navitas, as we know, pound for pound, the best fuse boards out there. Now, if you're like me and you leave everything to the last minute, it's Sunday night and you're like, I need a fuse board for next week. And I haven't been bothered to order it or even sort my life out. Well, I've got your back tonight. Tonight, for during the podcast and for 1 hour afterwards, you're going to get 30% off. So this is your chance to go and fill your trolley full of Navitas stuff. You're going to get the best deal available anywhere in the world right now. So go and fill your car full of Navitas stuff using discount code ElectPodLive. ElectPodLive. 30% off. Go over to Navitas CP. Look it up. Go on there. Order your stuff at the checkout. Put in ElectPodLive for 30% off. That's 30% off everything. Let's go.
What,
fill your boots.
Even outdoor fuse boards?
They don't do them because they're not rubbish.
Exactly.
Hey!
You buy as many as you want, get 30% off fuck all. We'll give you a saving of fuck all. So yeah, go and use that.
I'm telling you now, go and fill your boots. Fill it up.
Not during the show.
No, do it during the show.
Well, yeah, do it
during the show and 1 hour afterwards. After that,
then listen to
the discount's gone forever. But check it out. Go and see now. Go over there. Even if you go over and have a look and buy one thing to see how good Navitas are, do it.
And if you're in the van tomorrow morning, sorry, it's too late.
Too late. Nah. Should have listened live. Should have been in the group chat. Come on. Right, Jamie, what are we doing this evening? Hold on. Marco, where have you been?
I've been busy, mate.
Pimpernel.
On the roofs of the UK, chucking solar panels at them with CT1 underneath. Getting away with it all summer so far.
Jason, come on.
What happened to No More Nails? Is that old hat now?
Yeah, if I'm with all the cool kids, CT1. I seen it advertised on Instagram. Looks mint. Used it. Works treat.
There you go. It's sticky, is it? Sounds like an ad. That is not an ad.
Nah, I'm not.
Just a contract to being allowed to say I think it's fucking shit. I've never actually used it. They'll probably be around my ass to one now. What are you doing there? You're messing around with that 3D. Tell them what you're doing in your shed, Sam.
Printing out something on a 3D printer. It's overrun. It shouldn't be printing now, but it is.
So yeah, during the podcast, he's just doing a 3D print. So yeah, cheers for that. That's what you can hear buzzing around the background. It's not my mum's dildo.
You can't even hear it. Marco, like it. So you're out there killing it, smashing up the UK with solar power. Are you finding inquiries and stuff light on the ground?
It's crazy. No, totally the opposite. It's absolutely.
All right, Billy Big Balls, go on.
Mad.
Go on that
renewables podcast if you want to talk about your renewables cack. Go on, Italy.
It's the inquiries have surprised me. I did not think it would go the way it has, but yeah, it's just getting busier. We're starting to get more commercial stuff as well now, so I've been quite careful just to stay within my wheelhouse while we've been learning the ropes, for want of a better
Do
expression.
you do all prices, or is it above 100 grand only?
Well, we're kind of in the artisan remit of pricing now, to be fair.
The top end there.
Minimum price, 25 grand.
There's no one down the middle. What is it? Is it
Hold on,
tailored for
wait 1
winter?
second, right? We're going to get back into Mark and his business brains. Listen, no one has a forehead that big without having a big business brain. So we need to tap into that later.
For audio viewers,
we're
Mark's
both
got a
broke
light.
bitches.
Mark's got such a big forehead is that to underlight it with what I think is a Son car park light.
I've turned all the lights off. I do not know what is going on with my
That's
camera.
Your screen.
I'm literally
right.
Mark looks like he's about to do a seance.
He's going to bring back a dead product.
Mark looks like he's about to unpack a Ouija board.
Jesus Christ, I'm just scrolling through the chat quickly before I did this article. There's quite a lot of people in there chit-chatting already. Wowzers, welcome, all you chat people who are live. Shall I do a news?
Let's hear it.
Let's do some news. It's like you've already put up the news VT already.
Out of respect, there's only one thing tonight. Only just because I'm out of sheer respect for this item. Hang on, what date is it?
Is that actually
29
Will's Electrical in the
September?
chat?
No, it's just someone with his thing. It is.
Him.
On Wednesday, Radcliffe Power Station, King of Coal, will close after 142 years of coal production of electricity.
Well, I'm glad it's gonna be better for the planet. We're gonna have better air quality. No more asthma.
Listen to Greta up there.
I'm finished with fucking read you pair of dicks, honestly. 142 years of making electricity from coal. 56 years of Radcliffe on Saw. Been producing since 1967. Can boil enough energy to do 1 billion cups of tea a day. Coal is king and always will be the king of energy production.
Yeah, but
nothing will ever surpass it.
Yeah, but I already feel like my throat is better and my lungs are better. My breathing's easier now that's closed. Took all the anxiety out of life.
Just from a personal point of view, as I grew up, like getting home was seeing those corn towers. Getting home was coming off the A52, we're driving to North Nottingham where I used to live.
Was Fred Dibner climbing up them?
No, it probably was, but yeah, that was home to me, like seeing those, and now they're going to be gone soon. They'll be got rid of. Obviously, that's the last coal-fired power station in the UK. Those corn towers and all the associated stuff will all get ripped out and scrapped and whatnot.
What are they replacing it with? Offshore wind farms.
What they're replacing it with is loads of renewables, which is no wrong with the renewables. Like, there's no wrong with massive solar farms. There's no wrong with there's a lot of gas going off. And interconnectors have done a lot of it.
And a connection from France.
Connection from France and all that. I think it will leave the UK in a fragile position personally for energy security, in that we can't dig up coal and burn it unless we spend. If when this is gone next year, if we decide to go, we're going to burn coal again, it'd take us 15 years to get it going, to dig a pit and do it. We could just import it and use this. It's got a had a flue gas desulfurization system fitted since the noughties, which make it probably one of the cleanest coal-fired burning stations in the world. But we still shut it down.
Had scrubbers put in.
Yeah,
use
that's
the correct words, bro.
Flue gas desulfurization scrubbers. I did the ones at West Burton and the noughties. I think they went before that. So yeah, it's clean. It's reasonably clean. It's as clean as it'll get.
How sad are you that it's closing?
I'm very sad to see the end of coal. Also, what makes me more sad is that this burns coal and makes it as clean as humanly possible with the technology.
But does it still mean that baby seals get clubbed over the head by fishermen?
Does it still mean that Dracs are burning lovely clean wood every day while we pay for it?
That is wild. We got one near us. We got a wood power station near us.
Little wood power station, not too bad, burning clean, dirty wood. But is it fair that Dracs are getting paid for every single ton of wood they burn for a power station, virtually the same as that, while we pay for it? Is it fair that we're paying solar farms not to produce? Is it fair we're paying £25 million some names for wind farms not to produce? Is that fair?
That is mad, where they lock wind farms down and pay people to keep them
They're building solar farms near me that will be paid not to produce. I had an argument on Facebook the other day. Listen to me. Yeah, listen to this. I'm going to tell you a thing now. It's all about energy dispatch tonight. In the next 2 years, all the major suppliers of electricity will start charging you at certain points for you to get rid of your solar. It is going to happen because the grid is unstable. They're building kinetic things to keep it running that use energy, don't need it.
Could you just dump your extra power straight into the ground on solar?
No, not really. You ain't got a circuit. But I'll tell you now, between 4 and 7 soon.
Why can't you?
You can clip your generation away, but it's kind of pointless. I
Between-
suppose.
Well, if you've got to pay for it to go into the
This
into
is
the
true.
grid.
You can clip it away and stop that from happening.
In
You
the
can.
future, between 4 and 7, you're going to pay to get rid of your solar.
Well, not
in
if you
summer.
put it into the ground, you idiot.
You just put it to the ground. It's not old engine oil, mate. But anyway, yeah, King of Coal's closing. We'll never go back. Once this shuts, it will never start up again. It'll take years and months to get going again.
Does
So
seem
that's
mad
that
they've done
generation's
Why not?
generation's done to us.
Why not keep that there as redundancy till they rebuild all these nuclear power plants they're supposedly doing? Like,
Problem is, you
surely
can't
keep that in
keep-
the background.
This has to run. This has never been.
Yeah, you
cold.
can't turn them off, can you? You have to
Never
keep
been cold.
them spooled.
It's got 4 units that would have been what they call barred round when they've not been used. It would have been closed down shutdowns, but you can't. Once you shut this down, it's done. Take months to get it going again. So yeah, that'll be it on. I think it's Wednesday. Although secretly, I do believe it's already shut down. I think the end of the month is just a day. I think it's actually stopped generating this week.
Are you like going to go there and walk around like
Do you
stroking
know what?
the side
Do you
of it?
know
Going,
what? They had an open day that I missed. No one told me, and then I was going to go and get some footage of the steam still coming out and have a last look. Genuinely going to go and have a last look. Like, get all
Do you think you
emotional
could go
about it.
like when it's all closed down? Are you going to go sneaking over the fence and walking around with like a GoPro
I'm
looking
gonna
down
try
the
and get-
tower?
I'm going to try and get an official visit, something like that. But I would have liked to have gone and watched the last steam coming out of it, which was last Wednesday, I believe. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed about that. But I've been
Wow.
working. But yeah,
You
generally,
wanted to go and watch the steam come out.
I
of
wanted
it.
to see the last bit of steam. I wanted to go and watch it the last time I could see smoke and steam come out of it. I was genuinely that emotional about it. Like, it's always been there as long as I've been in Nottingham. That's been
I need
thing.
a new host for the podcast because my one is somewhat of a. There's nothing I could say, but
tiptoeing around the homosexual slang words, aren't you? There.
yes, I am. But I need a new host. Please apply within because this guy is fired.
It's just crazy. And then if we do start having blackouts, like I predict we will have, because the grid is getting very unstable, this will be what they bring up. So once we have it, as soon as there's a blackout in the UK, the first thing they'll say is,
I tell you
well,
what,
we
Ethan
closed down
Cruz is so
Radcliffe.
much better than this, isn't it?
yeah, but they all get paid for it, don't they? By the sponsor. But yeah, I'm telling you now, the first thing they refer to when that first blackout comes is, well, we closed the coal-fired power station. It's nice to have a mix. But yeah, now we've got these solar and wind farms that are both used at night. So yeah, that's the news. Goodbye, Radcliffe. It's been emotional. I've enjoyed seeing you for the past 42 years every time I drive to Nottingham. That's me.
That's called Radcliffe Power Station. Gone, but not
Gone.
forgotten.
Oh yeah, it's gone. They've all gone. Apart from Drax, which you pay to burn clean wood from
But
America.
why would they get rid of coal ones and then burn wood?
Because Drax are a massive business that screw the government around the little finger and say, oh, why don't you give us 80 quid every ton of wood we burn or something like that? Don't
Yeah,
quote me on
but
the
I
numbers,
don't
but
understand why they would burn wood and not coal.
Drax burn good. It's a coal-fired power station converted to burn wood. The fact is, if Drax started at the top of the UK with a chainsaw and cut down every bit of foliage and they get to the bottom in a week, they burn the whole lot in a week, and they
No,
ship that
import
over
the
here.
wood from somewhere else.
Yeah, they import the wood from America. They cut down good, clean trees, process it with energy, transport it over here in ships, then transport it there in trains, then burn it. And you're telling me it's green? And you fucking think I'm stupid, Drax? I know what you're up to, Drax. Then not only that, but you get paid for burning it, you motherfuckers. Honestly,
why would the government pay
absolute
them to
piss
burn
take.
it? Why would the government pay them to burn it?
Why would the government import fucking trees that
Why would
take
they
away
do
carbon dioxide from America? Cut down trees that are stopping global warming to drag them to fucking Driffield to burn them when there's coal underground in the UK. Someone tell me what this is.
Is it because if they take it from America, like that's America's carbon credits, and then we don't have to pay carbon credits on the carbon stock exchange?
Well, it's like offshoring into let's not make batteries in the UK for our renewables. Let's get people in China to make them. Then we ain't got to worry about all the chemicals and all the energy from the coal-fired power stations used to make them. But we can pretend we're green. We as 1% of the whole world can pretend we're green. Not that I'm saying I disagree with getting rid of fossils, but I think we're going a bit quick. Cost us a lot of money, and there's a lot of people just not bothering. While our electricity prices go through the roof in Europe, other people just going, you know what, we're going to build a coal-fired power station. Oh yeah, and then just get away with being cheap. So yeah, but as someone's put in the chat, biomass is classed as renewable, but Drax ain't no renewable source as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, there you go.
Next.
Well, next is Mark.
Oh, is that it? Is that your big bloody news article?
That's just my ode to Radcliffe. I'd feel offensive if I put anything in the way of Radcliffe and the end
Why?
of coal. Because I think we'll reference this episode in years to come and go, do you remember when they shut down that power station? And now we're sending the podcast out on DVD because there's no internet.
Apparently, there's listen. Anyway, right, Marco. A minute ago, we was just talking about how the fact that you're really busy. Now, I know that you do. Obviously, you do your solar side of things.
Yes.
But then you still have the electrical arm. So you're still doing quite a lot of
Got an
electrical
electric arm. Show us it. Jesus Christ, that's
Sam's
amazing.
printing it right now. It's on his printer.
Yeah, it's for your mum, Jamie. Would you say more your inquiries are coming from solar rather than the electrical side? Have you seen a slowdown on the electrical side, or are you not that bothered?
Normal domestic work definitely slowed down. We would have traditionally maybe done, I don't know, 6 to 8 domestic rewires a year, and I don't think we've had an inquiry for more than 1 or 2 in this entire year. So that tells a story. The solar stuff's flying. The normal commercial work's about how it always is. No real change there. But I would say if we hadn't gone into solar and renewables, we would be kind of sat on our regular order book rather than growing as we are. So it's it's been a journey.
How are you generating your solar leads?
Primarily, that's just through YouTube. To be fair, lots
really
of YouTube,
is you like
social media content. I've got business off social media stuff for years through LinkedIn historically for commercial work, but YouTube and content on LinkedIn has got us a lot of solar PV and battery storage jobs.
All my contact on LinkedIn is gets me complaints to my office. What are you doing that I'm not?
We should have put that on the news this week, Jamie.
Can't talk about it yet for legal reasons.
Oh,
Jamie got sacked this week, but Jamie's not going to talk about it just yet. We'll come back to you with that one.
Marco.
Yes.
With with the solar side of things, and you say you get a lot of it. So I spoke to I'm not going to name him because he's quite private in that. A lot of people say they get a hell of a lot of work from their YouTube channel.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
And that's what you're just sort of confirming that you're getting. That's
a thing. And to be honest, I used to doubt when people said that in the past, like
because I do.
Before I started doing it myself, I was like, that's just not happening. I think they're making it up. But it's real, and it's not just from big videos that people have seen. Well, I say big, a few thousand views. It's some of the smaller stuff as well that I will share on a Google ad. So we'll pop a Google ad and it'll link to a YouTube video in 30-mile radius of our home, and they're really good at generating leads and sales. And then the ones that are more public on YouTube draw customers to us where they want us to go and do difficult jobs that we really enjoy. So it's stuff where maybe the energy retailers have quoted and said we can't do that, or they've had trouble trying to get what they want from local installers, and they reach out through YouTube and we help solve that problem.
Do you use someone who helps with your Google, or do you do that yourself?
I've always done it myself. So I've used Google for probably, I don't know, a long time. Since they started the Google ads way back, I was in from the start on all of that and had quite a lot of success locally with it. And we still do it a bit now. We don't spend massive amounts on it, probably like £400 or £500 a month. And it pays its way. Let's say that. It's good.
So with the solar stuff, how much would you say comes from your actual YouTube channel?
Probably 70% of what we do is through normal YouTube videos, and 30% is through the ad-based stuff.
Now this ties in quite nicely, actually, because in the last couple of, obviously I started up my business about a year ago, and I've had some success, but then also had quite a lot of downtime in the last couple of weeks / months, and we're starting to see a bit of a turnaround. But to avoid that going forward, I was thinking of doing something like, maybe, I think Artisan had done this very well in the past, is like some small videos focusing on the type of work I do, so as I can have that as a library. It's not for electricians really or anything like that. It's a bit of content that's customer facing, that when you quote for a job, you can attach it to your quote, so they can then have a look at who you are, what you do, and how you do it.
Yeah.
And apparently that's a really, really strong marketing tool.
We do that with an app called Loom. So it's separate to YouTube, where we'll record a bespoke video for the customer that goes out alongside their first contact with them. And then when we submit a proposal as well, so I'll send the first contact, which she'll kind of verbally talk through what we're proposing with a link to a video that's similar to sort of what they've asked for that's on YouTube, and then hope that they get back in touch with us. And then when we propose a system, you can kind of talk through it in a short 2-minute video. And that is a really effective way at kind of converting sales rather than just pumping out emails that someone's just looking at the price and comparing you with the next person. You're trying to stand out a bit.
So yeah, I'm thinking of doing that just for the more basic stuff, not necessarily the high ticket stuff, but even the more basic stuff, the little household jobs and things like that, because it is saturated where I live. A lot of people do talk about this. I know there's a Steve from the ESK. He only lives around the corner. He's the first person to say how saturated it is in my area. So what do I have to do to stand out from everyone else? And perhaps doing that, having that little format will make such a difference.
Video content's brilliant. I would do that, Sam. Get yourself some little clips. I don't know, hanging fancy lights. Don't have to be anything really technical, does it? Just basic bread and butter stuff that people want doing. Outdoor sockets, a consumer unit. Get a little clip of that. Outdoor sockets.
Oh, fuck! I missed
not outdoor. Well, Sam might put outdoor consumer units in. He looks the type, but you never.
To be fair, if I had to, I would.
We know it. We know it. In fact, I remember seeing you trigger Jamie when you propped one up on a brush outside.
You're a wank of a donkey for to, you know what I mean, for cash, but I'm not that desperate.
Jamie has to bring the tone down.
I don't know. I've got something to bring the tone down. I want to talk about, Mark. Got what? This. This has been had by Wix. This has been talked about by various people. Wix solar power, fast and fully something, fully installed from £6,000. That includes 6 solar panels, inverter bird proofing, and intelligent installation based on 1 array of scaffolding on a 2-story house with no conservatory or skylights, with power for the panels and inverter supplied from the same building. Price excludes battery. Wix are going to bang you 6 panels up for £6,000. Not Wix. Oh, Wix I'm going to do that. What do you reckon to that one? I've seen a few people going on this one. It's a bit ropey, but how do you compete with these clowns?
That's the thing. It's not competing with them is the way to compete with them. It's the same with the energy retailers as well. You see them all offering those kind of prices, and they're using cheap subcontract labor. And there's a lot of Skills England have had a survey out through the course of last week about skills in construction, and they're bigging up all this training that we need to do. And you're already seeing the vultures there about how we can retrain people to be solar PV and EV installers within a matter of weeks. And their training schools will do very well out of it. They're the people who are filling these job roles. They're not proper electricians or installers. It's just going to get
tight. I put a video on my YouTube last week about my solar because I finally finished it after about a year and a half. And I did the maths, checked all the numbers. I spent 1,800 quid putting 7 solar panels on my wall with Unistrut. Bear in mind, I did all the labour myself and didn't have to get any scaffolding. So I'm in the hole for £2,000 on a panel short of that. And scaffolding's going to cost £1,000. Then you've got profit for all the parties. There's not enough meat on the bone there.
No, there can't be, can there?
When you throw in your MCS registration, all the tests, your test set's £5,000.
Yeah, and that's the bit that doesn't account. So someone goes to me, oh, you did it for £2,000. I'm like, well, actually, I didn't have MCS. I didn't have to pay all that. I didn't pay insurance because I literally dragged him in off the scaffolding so badly I didn't even shot him for camera. But yeah, to do all that properly with the insurance for working on roofs. Someone doing it for £6,000, I'd argue if they dropped a panel, they're probably going to disappear. I don't think it's possible.
I was speaking with Sam from Oval a lot about this, from like the feed-in tariff days, as he calls it, where it's just rinse and repeat, same systems on different roofs, and no one really designs something to fit what anyone wants. So your 6-panel system might be totally appropriate for someone, but totally inappropriate for someone else. And they're giving that as a from price. Usually they'll be trying to charge a lot of extra if you want optimizers.
From even me legally. There's a part of the news tonight that was sent in by Greco or some of the family where it says like it was basically those charges being supplied by a company and the prices were stupidly cheap. The reason it put it in the news is because it was all from prices. So my question is, does anyone know what is a from price? Is it just legal bollocks for just saying from £10 and it's a lie or what?
Whenever you say from like £6,000, what you'll get for £6,000, they'd never sell you. They'd never be like,
give me what I can have for £6,000. I've got a massive roof with some scaffolding. Give me what I can have. They'd be like, well, they shit themselves and go, no. Like one of these charges, I won't name the company, but I'll talk about it. It was a Zappy from 700 quid. And I was like, well, what's that? What's that leave you on a Zappy?
Not a lot. They're about 530 quid at least.
Couple £100 plus all your overheads, like through an intermediary company. I was like, what's from mean?
But
I want to know what the legal brand are from.
Is this just not what happens, right? When it started out, it was a cash grab because people didn't really have any idea of pricing or what it could be, what it couldn't be. So people are making hay while the sun shines. Then obviously other companies get involved, start knocking down the price because they want to get more. They want quantity over quality. And then this is what happens to anything. You see it with the car chargers. They've been rinsed out now. You can't really make much dough off of them unless you specialize and that's all you do. And then you have a YouTube channel that generates you work because you're a very specific person. Then you can make money. But really and truly, making money out of renewables now, unless you've got some sort of niche or some sort of and when I say niche, I mean like a YouTube channel to sort of support that to pay you the extra money is worth it by looking at your provenance on your YouTube channel. Outside of that, you're just any man. So you can't charge them prices no more. It's finished.
People need to start realizing that when you spunk this £6,000, yeah, you're not going to spunk £6,000 roughly. You want the money back. So say you're doing 15 kilowatts a day and you're going to save out now 2,500 kilowatts a year with that. To get your money back, I'll give you a payback period. Yeah. What people soon start realizing is they're not making the payback period because the stuff's been crap and badly installed and not going to make it. It's cheap. So only in 6-7 years' time, when we start seeing the vultures come out going, have you been missold solar panels that are shite?
Oh, yeah.
That's when people realise, because these prices are cheap. There's no arguing about it. There are people out there doing cheap jobs. The problem is, if it doesn't pay back, it's not cheap, is it? I think I heard today, someone said to me, sorry, one thing. A marketing guy I watch on YouTube a lot, very clever bloke. I can't remember his name. I should have mentioned it. It's quite a big one. He said HS1 and HS2, it would have been cheaper to make the journey more enjoyable by having models give out free food. And it would have took 25 years of doing that on a normal train before you even got anywhere near the cost of HS2, but people would have gone on trains more. So it's like, it's the longevity of it, it's cacking it. Actually, £6,000 a day is so cheap, but you're never going to get your money back because you're going to be, I don't know, dragging pigeons out of it and whatnot.
And a lot of consumers don't understand either the differences in the price you'll get. Some people will assume that you can get your inverter for £400 or whatever, but there's different qualities of inverters. Some will only have a 3 to 4 year warranty, others have a 12-year warranty. So
are the cheaper people using roof mounted inverters as well? Micro inverters, that seems to be the fad.
There's possibility. I mean, generally the AC micro inverters are more expensive, but you won't be able to get an optimized system. There's maybe going to be no consideration of rapid shutdown. You can run through online and think you're getting a good, you can make some good money on £6,000, but that's someone who's not doing that day to day when they are trying to sit in the realms of quality. This stuff, it's going to be on your roof maybe 25 years and you want it to work for as long of that time as you possibly can. So if the value in that is sticking a 50 quid panel on your roof and a £400 inverter behind it, crack on. That's the people for you. But when it's all starting to go wrong in 5-6 years and you're paying for maintenance on that £6,000 might not look as cheap as it did the day you handed the money over.
Because people will be surprised to know, and I mean, your layman will be surprised to know there is a massive difference between, like, not all solar panels are created equally. They are very different, and so are the inverters. Some are more economical than others.
Yeah, I mean,
DMH has every octopus install these price guns this week or end phase.
Yeah,
probably because they cut the cost of bashing your ass about a bit inside and whatnot.
We've just put some bifacial panels up this week, and they were more expensive than a normal panel, and equally there's some now that weigh 9 kilograms.
Why'd you put them up? Because I keep seeing a couple of folks
customer request. I'm not convinced on bifacial technology.
Oh yeah, because it's not going to reflect off your slate roof, is it? But I keep seeing certain companies are banging around going, "Oh, it's bifacial."
Why are you being non-inclusive about bifacial?
Oh, because there's no sunshine coming off a fucking roof. That's why.
I think if you actually read in the data sheets properly, you need to try and get 200 mil off the roof surface, and you need like a reflective color or coating
and
on the
holes
roof
and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't think
why put solar panels in shadows, mate? If they're that good, you know what I mean?
It's not going to hurt, and you can get bifacial panels for a similar cost as normal ones now. Anyway, it's just these specific ones this customer wanted, and that's the thing you were saying, Sam. There is different qualities out there around all of this stuff. and you're not going to be getting that consideration in those cheaper prices. And we've seen this all before. Well, you've got First for Solar, they went bust. We've covered a couple of jobs off where they'd left scaffold up 6 months, tiles cracked, roofs not finished.
How can you leave scaffold up? Don't they get charged?
Scaffolding company went bust as well. So First for Solar had a scaffolding firm they used. They went
took that scaffolding down real quick, boy.
Yeah, I'd have had that scaffolding away, allegedly.
There you go. And cracked roofs, people losing thousands of pounds in deposits. And it's all right thinking that a company like Wix is probably very secure and that's not going to happen. But I remember DIY chains going under of the past. So it can happen to absolutely any business.
I think as well, like those
I'd have
panels,
had some chavies round for that scaffolding there, boy.
I'd have had it anyway and put solar panels up. If you go and buy some solar panels from one of the decent, big, renewable resellers, wholesalers, you'll get a good branded one. Tend to notice with these cheaper people, they go and buy not pallets, they go and buy containers full of solar panels which come straight on the ship from China. No branding, no badging, no nothing. And they slap them on your roof. And they'll work for 2 years, don't get me wrong, but there's no comebacks on them at all. There's a lot of inferior product kicking around in this game at the minute.
I was at Solar and Storage last week, and the amount of gear you can get now is nuts.
By just people you've never heard of.
Yeah, I mean, lots of the big reputable brands who you know the name of were there, but so many different smaller brands you've not got a Scooby-Doo who they are, and they've got gear out. I mean, the NEC was basically full of all the halls, full of this stuff, biggest show I've ever been to. And it's just nuts to see the kind of gear that is getting put out here. And some of it wasn't even ENA approved on the ENA registers. We can't install it and connect it to DNO's equipment in this country.
There's a savvy one I've seen, I was going to say allegedly, and that's Duracell batteries for houses. Now, I'd argue that someone's just bought that brand's name to use in that format, but those batteries aren't Duracell, are they? Because they're a totally different battery technology.
Imagine if they was, though.
That's they were Pure Drive to start with, I think. I think they were Pure Drive, and they got bought out by Duracell.
So they've actually bought them out and branded it up?
Yeah.
See, I want them.
That's what happened.
I want them.
It's just like, that's just someone going, let's see, what batteries can we sell? Like, we'll sell.
No, but hold on. Duracell batteries are way better than other batteries.
Duracell batteries leak in everything you put them in.
No, they don't.
They do.
That's dumb.
Shite. In my opinion, Duracell
you go to Sainsbury's and you buy Duracell batteries, or you buy Panasonic ones. There's no comparison, bruv.
Duracell are gash. They leak on low-level applications. It's a proven fact.
No, it's not a proven fact, you div.
Well, Jamie's an engineer. He'd know more about batteries than you, Sam.
The amount of Duracell batteries I crack open a meter.
I only buy Duracell, so I know they're good.
You crack them open in a meter and they've leaked everywhere. They don't like load applications, Duracell don't. Oh, Mike's electrical stuff, who actually does know what the fuck he's doing regarding electrical stuff. Duracell's leak like crazy once dead. Thank you, Mike, who's got a massive YouTube of him just doing electrical stuff. Probably got a degree.
I like them.
Well, I only take the opinion.
They're better than Energizer.
Mike's electrical stuff. You should
just saving the planet and buying rechargeable ones to fill up with wind energy rather than throw away Duracells.
Here's the thing with the rechargeable ones. They're such a good idea, and I've bought rechargeable ones. I've still got the recharger somewhere in here. I never recharge them.
DMH says 90% of the shite, his words, not mine, allegedly, we're at the sales and storage. We all sort of look the same with a different name on a white box.
I would agree with that entirely. You walk past and you think it's the same company, but it's just a different logo and a different crappy white box.
Isn't that what happened with My Energy's battery? It's just a rebranded
K-Star, isn't it? I think
the battery technology and the charging, I believe, are K-Star, but they've put their secret source of their software on it.
One thing that
basically a few zeros and ones interpreted into a different screen.
One thing that did catch my eye was the new Give Energy all-in-one they've got coming out, which is basically just a little bit more powerful and bigger and better than the Tesla Powerwall 3. They've just made it ever so slightly better.
So Give Energy have all these bits and bobs, haven't they, for a while, where you have this bit and that bit and that bit. So
yeah, it's all in one now.
It's all in one box. Is that going to affect customers buying Give Energy stuff now because they want the all-in-one box one, or does it make it lighter?
It's probably going to draw customers to them because you can have 6 strings going into it now. It's stackable as well, so you can stack stuff on top. It looks like a really interesting product. That was the standout thing at that show.
But wasn't their problem is like terrible customer service or something?
When a lot of these brands first started up, that was probably fair. But I think in the last couple of years we've been installing them, they've been really good. But I know installers who were in with them from the start who didn't have such good things to say about them.
I'll stick up for anyone about technical hotlines because I think a lot of people on technical hotlines don't know what they're doing. As in, the people calling have done something stupid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think a lot of time when you don't understand computers and our communication protocols and stuff, you can be
Years ago,
it won't work. And yet,
years ago, I worked at Canon when it
hell.
was in the UK, and I was on the
Retro.
technical helpline.
And what do you do? Turn it off and turn it off again.
I can't remember now. It's like printers and stuff.
Just a script. But yeah, I think a lot of renewables companies, that's across the board, chargers, batteries, solar. I bet they get so many hours waste by people going, oh, hang on, yeah, I've not turned it on. Or it's a different brand or something. So
Can we get on to the actual subject instead of solar? And this ain't a rechargeable podcast.
I'll lead us into it. Someone sent me a picture today of, actually it was yesterday, 2 outdoor consumer units side by side, where the EV installers had been in there for
No, why haven't you sent me this picture? Send it me now.
Because they haven't given me permission to share it. But I'm hoping they will, because it's hilarious. And
That's
then
incredible.
Next to it, someone has come and added an air source heat pump outdoor consumer unit.
Oh, so there's 3 or 2?
No, two
That's
side by
just
side.
Fucking bollocks, innit? Absolute like they're not even bothered thinking, well, we're gonna and there's a certain electrical brand that's saying like, oh, we're future-proofing things with outdoor fuse boards. Why have they only got fucking one breaker in them then? Because you just keep saying heat pump, charger, renewable, solar, EV, and that. Put fucking 5 in there. We're not future-proofing fuck all, putting a fuse board on the outside of an house that's got one breakaway in it.
The guy who sent it to me had gone to quote to put a PV system in this fella's house, and he's like, I could put it all in the garage because it's like 5 meters away. It's just a little trench to dig, and it's all he's going to do that when he goes to do the solar.
Someone in the ESK chat, who I won't name because obviously the picture permission not there, sent us a picture of an outdoor fuse board screwed to next to a meter box. Then the cable was drilled through to the garage, which passed past the fuse board on its way to the charge on the other side of the garage, where it was then fitted. So the cable passed the fuse board because it's the norm, although the IT article says it should be last resort, but it's the norm of all the big installers now.
It has got wild. And to be fair, Jamie, you did call it out. This outdoor fuse board nonsense has got wild.
Like, how many outdoor fuse boards can you get on the outside of your house? I noticed on the Nicholas Ramos video, who was a former friend of the show, like, the outside of his house.
I'm sorry, but that's an abomination.
But the outside of his house looks like a fucking, I don't know, the IKEA box, the really useful box section in the supermarket. There's that many things on his wall. He's going to struggle to get down his garden path soon with these bins. He's got that many boxes on the outside. But yeah.
Oh, I like Nicholas Ramo. Like, we hardened him with his video, and he deserved it, but he ain't a bad guy.
Nah, Nick's all right, but the outside of his house is an abomination of electrical stuff.
But I like that air source heat pump black bin thing. I like that. I think that looked good, and I like the sticker as well.
And the outdoor fuse board to go with it.
We've just taken off an outdoor fuse board this week. You two probably don't follow my socials, but I've been sharing a bit about it. Weren't
it full of condensation damage?
It was. It was installed in April this year, so it hasn't even been through the winter. It's just been in through the warmer weather, and
Would be fair to say that it was a plastic outdoor fuse board.
It was a plastic one, but the consumer unit was right behind it. It would have been easier to just take the EV circuit from the existing consumer unit.
Back in the day, electricians would drive around with breakers in the van of loads of different types and maybe go and buy one. Now it's like, oh, I can't get a breaker for your board. I'm just going to stick a fuse board on the outside of your house. Like,
yeah, but ain't that like, wouldn't you, like, if you went there and you was like, well, there's no space in your fuse board, I could put this unreliable thing on the outside, I could just charge you for a new fuse board upgrade, bro.
Yeah, just sell the fuse board upgrade. They also go,
how much are you charging to put in a fuse board on the outside? It's got to be it's got to be comparable to what you're charging to put a new fuse board in. Surely.
Yeah. Why don't we want the extra work? Because the EV chargers don't want the extra work. They just want to fit and forget. There was a picture someone sent me, and it was a Henley blocked a supply again. And there was an EV fuse board on it, outdoor, obviously. And then it was on a Wirex rewirable. So, like, how are they cutting that main cable to that Wirex rewirable, then reinstating it and saying, well, that's my installation now, and it's all safe. Also, the big argument I said, like, if you cut the tails, you become responsible for the whole installation, surely. I'd like some clarification on that by an IT, something like that.
That's one of the...
ZJ Zon has just put the bin men tried to empty Nick's air source heat pump.
Brutal.
That's funny. Come on.
That's one of the things the energy retailers supposedly think by fitting in a separate consumer unit. They're taking no responsibility for any of the existing system.
Cut the tails.
I make you right, Jamie, because you're kind of interfering with the main tails.
I
leading
remember
into the
once
house.
I had an NICI inspection, and I put some ring main in this guy's house. This is years ago, like I was in my early 20s. And the NIC guy come around and went, pull the washing machine out. I was like, what? He's like, pull the washing machine out. I was like, start looking at the stuff behind. He goes, what about all that? Have you noted that in your report? I messed the cable. I was like, no, said no. He goes, you're responsible for whole installation when you take it over. I'm like, oh, that's funny, because like if you cut the tails and cut the earth, our octopus, who are NIC registered, when they cut the main tails and cut the earth, are they taking the cover off whatever fuse board's there and checking the earth fault loop impedance value of that board? I
Probably
bet
not.
they're not, but they should be, because they've absolutely adjusted the supply to it. Anywhere else, the NIC would have your pants down for not doing that.
Yeah,
But apparently, Octopus can do it. They've got to cut the tails, so they must be.
I bet
responsible.
I bet Octopus get such a bligh when it comes to the NIC going around and checking their work. They're like, listen, mate, relax, all right, relax. You know
Also-
you know what time it is. Relax.
Greg
yeah?
will batter you. But yeah, they use it. And also, every Octopus install I don't even need to see a sticker of it. We've got an Octopus tonight. Don't need to see a sticker, because Octopus love using all-round band as cable cleats. It's their signature move.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
This job had that. I don't think it was Octopus, but the
See?
customer had spoken to the installer.
I'm all right, can I be? Honestly.
Yeah. The customer had spoken to the installer, and they were given 4 EV installs a day, and the kit for every single one is an outdoor consumer unit and an EV charger. They're not even looking to see if they can do anything other than that. That's what the installers have been told to do, and that's the problem. Like, there will be times where you go to a really hard job, maybe the only option you've got is to fit something outside. I would put it in a GRP enclosure and not directly on the wall outside, but that is your only option. But these other installs that are going on every day in their thousands every month, there's no thought if it's hard or not. It's just happening, and it shouldn't be.
Do you think this is a case of one, like I always use this as an example? You know, in Fight Club, where he's an insurance adjuster, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then if the car's got a problem and they work out whether if a couple of people die, they've got to pay out £3 million, or if they got recalled a car and it's going to cost them £20 million, what's better off? So they do that calculation. Do you think like Octopus are like, listen, it's so much easier to do this. If a few go wrong, it's going to cost us this to fix. We can go and whap on another one, cost us 300 quid, or all the problems that come with it.
They pass on the warranty for a start. We've had that officiate. They pass on the warranty for the charger. If the charger breaks, it's your problem to sort it out.
There you go.
You know that.
So they don't care then.
No.
So they put in an outdoor fuse board that fills up with cobwebs and nonsense. Like the most wildest stuff gets inside outdoor sockets. I can't even tell you. And then it fills up with that condensation, rusts, especially down the coast. It's going to rust. Everything rusts. Even stainless steel rusts down the coast. And then 3 years later, they're like, well, warranty's up. What are you talking to me for? Get your local electrician to go around and fix it.
Mad,
Big question, yeah. Octopus do heat pumps, don't they?
But hold on, here's a question. If you're the electrician to go and fix it when it's fucked up, do you replace it or do you fix that issue completely?
Well, you'd argue you take it inside, wouldn't you? But then again, who knows?
What do you think, Marco? Because Jamie just give a bog standard answer, bro.
I'd say most people would just be replacing the stuff that's in there and putting it in to go again. That's the reality. Because customers aren't going to probably want to pay to have it done right if they've allowed that.
No, because they say Octopus did it, they've done it right. You know, if Octopus fit heat pumps, don't they?
They do.
Then they fit solar.
Mm-hmm.
Then they fit batteries.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is if I get Octopus around to fit me some solar, then they put an outdoor fuse board up. Then if I get them to go and fit my heat pump, will they put another one up? And if I get them to go and fit my battery, will they put another one up? So could I get 3 of them slapped on the wall by the same firm?
I'm still waiting to have it confirmed who was the installer of that thing I mentioned at the start of this chat, but I believe that might be what's happened, Jamie.
That's wild. But hold on. Why don't these outdoor fuse board companies do a bigger board for outdoors? Are we going to see a 4 or 5 way fuse board for outdoors?
Well, we get told by electrical QVC that they're future-proofing houses with these outdoor fuse boards. I think Luden one's bigger, isn't it? Is that not right? The Luden one is bigger.
Who do you mean electrical QVC, Jamie?
That's just some electrical QVC I've heard. But don't Luden do one with 2 fuses in now? Is that not right?
I think there's a few of them who've got more been added into their range.
The BG, to be fair, they come up with the concept of it, didn't they? Good or bad, and now everyone's nicked their idea, which is
as far as I know, there's only 2 brands who call them outdoor consumer units. The other brands have been a bit wiser and used IP65 enclosure, which is a massive get out for them, and then it's all on us as designers to make those choices.
Did Libby said a double stack outdoor fuse board? It's coming. Just put it outside.
John Faultless had to replace one 2 weeks ago. It was an emergency because it got knocked off the wall.
Did a big video on it. It did all his Instagram on it, I think.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Got knocked off the wall. You were saying this shit ages ago. Jamie's right on this, isn't he?
Just a little bit. I don't not like to big myself up on it, but yeah, it is.
I mean, I've seen videos from some manufacturers where they're spraying water straight at the enclosures. I don't think.
I think I've got that video.
I don't think anyone's disputing that. If
is that this video? That's
the one. I don't think anyone would dispute if you had it all closed up and fired water at it. It's not going to let it in because it's IP65.
Yeah. I mean, you can see there in that video they are shooting quite a weak jet of water, but that's the specification for the test at the board, all around the lid, and it's screwed. It's not even screwed to the wall.
That was hung on some water.
They've not screwed it, but their board does feature these little winglets on the side, so you don't have to drill it. But you've got to drill it to get the cable in, and we know a lot of people drill them on the top. So I would like to see that test redone with that board with a tails gland in it and some tails.
What I want to see that test done is like a couple of super hot days over the summer, then a couple of cold nights and a couple of super hot days, and then see what it looks like inside. Because I guarantee it won't look nice and fresh, bro.
How long did that test take? How long did they squirt water in for? Because the problem is IP65 is a clinical test. It's a clinical test. It's like all British standards, it's a certain type of water at a certain pressure at a certain angle for a certain duration of time. In that video, they show you spraying water on that board for the best part of, say, it's 10 minutes. But that board's going to spend the best part of 10 years outside. Obviously, rubber perishes, UV. It's just like, oh, Liz, look at us. Look at us spraying our board with water for 60 seconds.
There's 2 things.
Mate, it's fucking going to be
Let Mark talk, man.
I was going to say there's 2 things with the water. One is when it's raining, somebody will open the lid to reset breakers at some point. Guarantee it. Domestic customers are going to do that. And the other is condensation. I had a great chat with Will from TESS at the Elect show, where he was like, what happens when you've got a warm RCBO that's on full load overnight, charging an electric vehicle with a cold enclosure in winter? You're going to get condensation forming inside that box, whatever vent plug you're using.
It doesn't matter what you do.
Just going to happen, and that's going to lead to moisture inside. And that one we removed the other week was a perfect example of that. You cannot get away from those 2 things, and we seem to have this conversation move to different areas every time a point's raised. You brought that brilliant one up about pen faults, Sam.
Don't say that to him.
Really annoying. That brought another angle on it. But we've had people say how it's like caravan sites, marinas. We're now getting industrial outdoor commando sockets with breakers in. None of it is the same. None of it.
No, nothing to say.
These are going on domestic homes with unskilled people using them off main 80 and 100 amp service heads.
Anyone that says what's the difference between that and a caravan site needs to take a long look at their career because they failed in it. You know what I mean? There's nothing like the same.
Yeah.
Even the comparison with like a heat pump and a battery storage system. Battery storage systems have earth rods on them.
Need RCDs, don't they? Does a battery storage system need an RCD?
Some do and some don't, but either way, there would be an earth rod.
They need a bi-directional RCD.
They do have pen fault detection. Their job is to kind of sense when there's an issue in the grid-connected network and switch over away from it. But a heat pump, that might sit there carrying a pen fault. However, the app that controls the heat pump isn't pointing someone at it to go and reset breakers outdoors for it.
Is there any way that you could make an outdoor fuse board safe against
put it in an enclosure? Use a plastic one and put it in an enclosure outside with an earth rod.
The pictures and videos we see of these in use don't feature that. They're shown to be they're shown by media and pictures to be a very easy screw it to the wall, put your cables in, you're off. There's no design in that video. That's just an implication. Look how easy you can make this.
The manufacturers who were marketing these as outdoor are a little bit aggressive in their opinions, I've got to say. When I've made my views on social media around all of this, I'm doing that as someone who buys their gear. I'm not an advertiser. I buy their stuff, and it irritates me that they're making that product to the point I'm considering not ever buying stuff from those brands anymore. We don't buy insignificant amounts of stuff either. That's the difference, I think, that they don't recognize when they're speaking with people.
I believe in a video featuring an IP65 outdoor fuse board that was very popular, that they refer to that fuse board as it's been fitted next to a meter box as an IP65 fuse board.
Yeah.
Did that firm recertify that IP65 fuse board? When you've drilled it, it's not IP65. So
that's what Will's saying in the comments now. William Winter of Navitas fame says, as soon as you compromise an IP65 enclosure, you have to retest it to certify it's IP65, which cannot be done on site.
So you just sell an IP65 box. I mean, if effectively a sandwich box if you go and buy a sandwich box, a Tupperware box, that's IP65.
And
but you wouldn't drill over one of them and put a joint in it, would you? Because everyone would laugh at you. But it's not only IP65 till you undo the door or drill a hole in it.
Will's dead right, because the gateways that you get from these manufacturers, Give Energy and Sig Energy examples, come with glands in them that they have fitted, and they certify that entire thing as being IP65, and they use protective devices inside to the product standard 60947-2, which have a pollution degree category rating of 3, which is the key difference. And that's the IET article details it better than anything else. And already that's been suggested has been opinion. We see it with that PAS document as well. It's opinion.
Who's been doing their opinion suggestion? Just drawing
there's a few installers who've cropped into my DMs about that who didn't like the article, and I guess you could say it's authored by somebody. So it's the opinion of a technical manager from the IET, which I would say is quite a weighty opinion. It's
not been long since PAS came out. We've already seen insurance people adopting that, and the regs talking about adopting that. So it doesn't take long for it to roll downhill, does it? I don't think.
No.
Well, I've got a quick question, right, about... So this article that come out from, what's his name?
Craig O'Neill.
From the IET. Now, that's a pretty top-down article, isn't it? IET are responsible for printing the regs and stuff, and they have probably quite a big influence over the industry and what we do within the industry. Would you say that article, being an official IET article that covers the pros and cons of these outdoor fuse boards, how they should and shouldn't be fitted, do you think that is the beginning of the end for outdoor fuse boards?
I think you ended it with Penfolds, to be fair to you, but that's maybe the final nail in the coffin. It's a hard one. And to be fair, Craig has not said you cannot do that. He's just laid out all the reasons why you maybe should be doing it as an option of last resort. And he's one of the people of industry with more integrity than most, I've got to say. Craig is a top guy, and he knows his stuff.
I had the pleasure of meeting him at Alex this year, and I was blown away.
And the whole technical team at the IET, I mean, we've had discussions about the IET a few times on this podcast, Sam, and we're not the biggest fans of the overall thing that it is, but the technical team, the people there are immense. And if they're saying things like this, Michael Peace, Craig O'Neill, Mark Coles, and Stephen Devine, and Graham Kenyon as well in his consultancy role, those people know their stuff. And if a brand or a manufacturer is paying advertisers to say something else and put that on their show, that's insignificant. Sometimes I think in the world of YouTube and social media, we can get really overinflated in our abilities to influence. We see how certain things have happened in industry, and it's apportioned to those places, when the reality is the real world of things in the electrical industry is multi-billion pounds, with people who've been doing this for a very, very long time. And they're the ones who are driving these things that will happen. But yeah, to cut a long story short, Sam, I think you're right. I think that'll be the tool that's used to finally end it, but it's getting that message into the energy retailers to stop it from happening. Otherwise, we're going to own millions of these things. Fast forward 2 years, there'll be millions of outdoor consumer units.
I can't... Aren't they selling like 5,000 a month at the moment?
That's just one energy retailer. I mean, Jamie.
Yeah, but that's nothing in comparison to how many houses they are.
No, if you look at all of them, British Gas, E.ON, EDF, they're all doing these kind of things now, and they'll be doing that by default.
So let's be conservative and say there's, I don't know, 10,000 a month being sold and say 10,000 a month going in, right? That's a hell of a lot. That's a hell of a lot of problems being kicked down the road.
You know, as much as we say like they're a bad idea and all that, it's great news for Sparks in 5 to 10 years' time because there'll be loads of work about. Like,
there will be.
Mark's one because rusty after 6 months. There'll be loads of work for Sparkies. Like, nip round someone's house in the morning because the car won't charge, rent charge. Sort out the fucking mess of a fuse board quickly to get them going, like change it, tidy it up, or whatever. Then go around and fix it properly. You're going to be talking the best part of £1,000 for that, aren't you?
Hold on. If you're upgrading any fuse board, right? Any fuse board upgrade starts at £600, doesn't it? Like small one starts at like £600. So if you go round and their outdoor fuse board's compromised, and even if you just put in a fresh one, right? Is that £600? Because that's going to be like a gold rush, isn't it?
Yeah, fuck that. Also, what they do with the test certificates, like the test certificates say you need to inspect the latest test certificate said you need to inspect the integrity of the metering equipment. So they must be doing that, but they're not paying any attention to the rest of the house. So do they then comment on the rest of the house? Say, are they commenting on the rest of the house saying the rest of the house is fine or the rest of the house is bad? Because that person might not ever get another electrician for years after, and they might assume that the installation is fine. The rest
I can't imagine.
The test certificate is an electrical installation certificate, so they must be writing limitations on it. So what they're writing only covers the fuse board we've put in.
Yeah.
What are they putting?
Well, they can't cover the rest of the installation, can they? They're not going to go around and do any ICR on their house.
Went round to quote it, go, oh, you know, your fuse board's a little bit old. Like you could do with getting that upgraded. Well, they're not doing any of that. So they're going to tell someone the rewirable fuse board they need an upgrade.
They're not doing any of that yet. But if any of them got any sense, they'll be trying to add on fuse board.
They don't want it. They only want the easy money, don't. That's the thing.
Yeah, but fuse board upgrades is like easy money, isn't it? Certainly is for me. Oh, fuck. Why did I do that?
I think the only reason I first started talking about this is I saw Jamie's videos around it, and it dropped with me that this could be some kid that touches one of these at some stage.
It will be.
And has a really, really nasty accident. And knowing that and not saying what I think didn't sit well with me. So all I would really say is that if the NIC and NAPIT are hearing a subject around all of this, they're the ones who can stop it. This is primarily happening in the domestic market. If they turn around and say we're not accepting that as an acceptable method of installation by any of our members, it finishes.
This sound rude, I'm going to be about, and I appreciate this is a bit on the edge here, right? Is how many do you reckon are being fitted a week? A month, 10,000?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Do you know how many dead kids I need to prove myself right? One, just one. And I'm not saying that. I'm on about the last death in a pub car park, the one that Dave said to do. Yeah, I need one. I need one, and that's it.
I don't want one, though.
Yeah, but I don't want one either. That's why I'm being such an arsehole about it. But I only need one to go. I told you so. And I will come on and tell I told you so.
Well, I don't even think you need that to say I told you so now.
I only need one fuse board that gets broken by a wheelie bin or reversed into by a car.
That's what I'm saying.
Badly fitted to prove it right, and that'll be it. And then when that happens, everyone's going to be fucking going, who's been letting these been fitted, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, they are.
We, the people sat on this podcast now, will be on the right side of that fence because we'll say they've always been shit. Then we'll have the press knocking on us talking, oh, you said they've always been shit. Yeah, we've said that for a long time. But I need one dead kid, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, as it sounds, that's all I need to prove myself right. I reckon I'll probably get it, unfortunately.
If you look at it, once the IET have said what they've said, it won't take long for others to start having similar views and opinions from the industry of things. And I think that's coming. So I think there will be some changes, hopefully, sooner rather than later.
I watched someone ask a question at Alex to the NIC, who assured that person that they were going to release an article on it. I've personally asked the ECA, who personally on their video assured me they're about to release an article on it. That both of those organisations, I think NAPIT have also said they're going to release an article on it. I imagine they're working together to release articles individually.
I think
so we're about to find out.
Wider industry's got to address it sooner rather than later, haven't they? It's got to be addressed. It's becoming a bit of a thing, especially with that many going in. We're starting to see the downsides of it. And I do.
We're not saying ban them either, are we? We're just saying we need rules to follow. So the playing field level, they're installed properly.
I think there's problems coming. I think the wider industry seeing the problems coming, and I think it's all going to come crashing down very soon because I just don't see any other way the cookie's going to crumble now.
I agree though. If we haven't, I know I'm taking personal credit here, but Mark's been on about it a lot. I've been on about it a lot. I'm sure the people on about it a lot, but I think without that, they would have just kept quiet about it and just ignored it.
But hold
I
on,
think it would have been ignored.
I'm conscious of the time, but I've got one more question to ask. How does this affect the way in which the like octopus are attacking the industry? Yeah, and what do they call it? Disrupting the industry. If they get outlawed tomorrow, right? Say outdoor Fuseboards, their whole plan is disrupted. Then what do they do? Do they then start employing proper sparkies to be able to do it from the fuse board? What is going to change here? How is this going to change into something new? Do they start fitting them in enclosures on the outside of the house and doing it properly? Or will they start doing it from the actual fuse board and offering upgrades?
They
What
won't
is
go
the
away.
ramification going to be?
They won't stop doing it. They're not going to stop Octopus. But if Octopus doing it properly, if Octopus do it to a normal electrician standard, the playing field will be level. We're not picking on for that. But if they start to put in wires to the fuse board and stuff or do eating enclosures, that's fine, isn't it? We can't say we don't like competition. We don't mind.
No. What I'm saying is, what will that hit Octopus's bottom line? Will they have to rethink their strategy on slinging in as many things as they can on a discounted basis? What are they going to do? How are they going to restructure their plan? Because this is a well thought out plan that they've adopted and are pushing out quite vigorously. What is the ramifications going to be for them if they outlaw outdoor fuse boards?
I would say the easiest thing for them to start doing would be to go back to the consumer units in the house. And they might even, I mean, we've had it before, not with Octopus to be fair, but another energy retailer where we've had to go first and put them a circuit in so they can install their EV charger. So they maybe
Octopus came to a house facing me and they went and put an EV charger in. And then the next day, there was a local electrician there who I spoke to, but I won't say what he said, who had to do some work so they could come back and finish their EV charger.
There'll be more of that, I think.
I think it was the earthing, I reckon. I suspect.
Oh, so they're going to have to get someone, the customer's going to have to get someone in to do the work and then bang, get Octopus in to finish off their bit.
I think what they said is, oh, your earthing's no good. You need to get a spark to come and do your earthing and we'll come back and finish it off because we don't do earthing. Then by the time you fucked around like that, you may as well got the sparking, ain't you?
Yeah.
But because they turned up, they got in there, didn't they? They got the foot in the door.
Traces back to government because we've got this massive thirst for net zero, haven't we? And trying to meet all these targets of people having electric vehicles and solar systems. And the message they've been told is the electrical industry doesn't have the resources to do that quickly enough. So the energy retailers are stepping in to fill that gap and ensure rollout is fast enough. That's the message government are getting from them, that we can upskill people in a matter of weeks and months. We can meet those targets. We just need you to relax the rules and regulations around things.
Also,
that's the result. What we're seeing now, that is the result.
There's a big hospital, not called the Queen's Medical Centre, big, massive, huge teaching hospital. And I've heard tales, and I think I've told about on this podcast before, like there was people that went through the apprenticeship there for 4 years, and all they did was put floor lights, all they did was bend conduit, all they did was put trunking in. And it was known to have created a large amount of sparks in Nottingham that were one-job sparkies. And when Octopus released these sparkies, they are one-job sparkies. They can put in renewables and that's it. They'll never wire a house. Or they will, but they won't do as well as a sparker. They're just outdoor fuse board bashing in things. And someone said on there, allegedly, there's videos and output on Instagram of Octopus staff filling their MVQs when they've done an install, but they're not supervised. Like, I've seen that myself on there. I'm like, that's a bit weird, isn't it? How's that working then?
It is a bit.
And on that note, Electricians Podcast, we are out.
Goodbye.
Stop recording. Yes.
Stop the record.